Good evening everyone and welcome to SLMotorsports MX5 Cup Social Race number 2, live from Autopolis. We have got this evening 14 out of 15 available drivers taking part in tonight's race. We've got Palmer, who is brand new to the league, so welcome to Ethan. He'll be joining us for some social races and hopefully for the GT3 Championship. Returning, of course, is Doug. Also new to the group is J-Kai, 2009, a good friend of Doug and Hair Razor, so welcome to him. James Head 14 is returning with us as a driver, so good to see what he can do out on circuit this evening. We've got Hair Razor also returning, Dude returning. Oscar, brand new. He will be racing with us this evening and hopefully in the GT3 Championship also. Sorry I Got No ID is returning. Jack Meyer has returned. Kyle has returned. Mushalot, brand new also, so welcome to him. Cotmat as well. Petrolhead as well. And Trey at the bottom there as well, all newbies. So we'll see how they get on this evening. As I said, we are live from Autopolis this evening, and drivers are already out on track. Been getting in some practice already. I've also got a keyboard feature to try out this evening for you, so I do apologise in advance for any issues with that. Let's just have a look in the practice session so far. We have got Jack Meyer out on top at the moment, James Head 14 in second, Oscar third, J-Kai fourth, doing a practice start I think at the end of the pit lane. Doug Barrow running around in his Costa livery, his Costa livery. Dude, who almost didn't make it this evening, so it's good to see that he was able to attend. Nexus Mushalot, is out there. All cars except for, of course, Trey and Copmat, I believe, are not running the decals that are specified and needed, but I will let them off as they were extremely late entries. But anyway, let's get some qualifying started here. It will be a 5-minute qualifying session followed by a 30-minute endurance race. After that we will have a reverse grid race as well. So all the guys that finish at the front will start at the back, all the guys that finish at the back will start at the front. But let's get this qualifying session underway for the drivers. Here we go. Just 1 minute, well I say 1 minute, 11 minutes later than we all hoped for. Here we go, qualifying has now begun. We'll head to spectate camera, here we go. See a little bit of argy-bargy coming out the pit lane, as expected. I will try and catch up with the comment section as best as possible this evening. But let's try and give this keyboard a try here, as well as checking up on the comments section. Guys, in advance, if you can hear the fan in the background, I will just double check that as well. Let's just pull up the stream here. I'm just going to go silent. I've returned. Can't hear the fan in the background, which is good. We're currently riding on board with Jack Meyer in 5th place. First out the pit lane was, in fact, Jay. Not too sure what's going on here with my. There we go. It's a little bit delayed there. There we go. Cool little feature that's now. I now have access to in the bottom right, where we can see the drivers. But onto the lap goes J-Kai, running through turn 1, very neat through there. Palmer in second, James Head third, Kyle and Jack going side by side here. Not really what you want to be doing whilst out on track. right on board. Kyle and Jack still squabbling a bit. Jack with a minor bit of lag, which is expected. Just come through the hairpin, out onto the much faster section now. Pretty much flat out until the final corner here. Here we go, tucking in behind, trying to get past looks from Jack here. I think Jack just needs to back off, find some track position, and get on through. But the first lap times should be coming through very shortly. Just have a look what sort of time Jay sets. 1:18.8, 1:19.0, 1:18.5, 1:19.6, 1:19.7, 1:20.7, 1:20.0, another 20.0, so close between those two, 1:19.1, 1:18.9, 1:23.4, as Palmer in fact there gets very out of shape. See if we can ride on board with him. Does now recover from that. Let's just have a look through the order after their first qualifying times. With 1 minute 40 to go, this will now be their second attempt out of 3 to get that all-important pole position. But James Head currently leads the way, followed by Jay Kai, Doug, side by side with his teammate. Not sure if he was letting him through there. Palmer in 4th. As we see more lag there from Jack. Hairraiser in 5th. Kyle in 6th, 7th is Jack, Mouchalot in 8th, and then we've got Trey, Oscar, Durdude, Petrolhead, Copmat in 13th, and sorry I got no ID in 14th. Just running back on board here, James, J-Kai in fact, sorry, goes quicker on this lap. Does a 1:18.4, very close between him and James, just 0.06 of a second separating them out in front, as Doug now jumps up into 3rd place as well. Still struggling with this keyboard a little bit here. Let's see if I can get some sort of resolution for that. Let's just have another quick look. Let's have a look with 14 seconds remaining. This is now their last flying lap for this qualifying session. Jay is still leading the field round, and we have got a spinner further back. Let's see if we can catch who that is. And it's James. James Head has now pulled off, so he's spun and knows he will not finish this lap in a respective time. But coming through the final couple of corners now is Jay Kai. Gonna have to get used to that name, Jay Kai. Just stick with probably Jay. Jay coming around the final corner to take the checkered flag for qualifying. Does he improve? He does not. 4/10 down. Sorry, I got no ID. Remains 14th. Let's have a look if anybody else is jumping up the order. Jack Meyer goes 3rd. So Jack Meyer has jumped up the order there, down to 4th. Let's just have a look through who else is going to be crossing the line. Oscar also on a final lap. No one seems to be improving. In fact, Petrolhead has now jumped up to 9th with that lap time for 1:19.5. Copmat has somewhat improved to 13th, and I do believe last one caller finishes their lap for qualifying, and that's the order, with Jay taking the all-important position. But here we go on to race 1 of the evening. This is based on qualifying positions. We've got 14 out of 15 drivers racing here this evening. But here we go. Jay on pole position. James Head lines up alongside him. As we wait now for the lights to go out, we'll be underway. And there we go, lights are out and off they go for their 30-minute endurance race. Jay gets a flying start. Let's have a look down at the order. Any changes of position? No, everyone looks as to have got away cleanly, but let's have a look as they run down to turn 1. Jack having a look on the inside of James. Let's keep on board with that, and he gets the move done. Doug also looking to capitalise here as well. Further back, still no heavy contact, which is absolutely crucial and fabulous to see. On the run down to turn 2, after the long straight, are we going to see any moves down the inside? We are. Doug having a look on James' head. Is he going to get the move done? He switches now to the out, or becomes to the outside, and he's now got Palmer up the inside as Doug, so now becoming the outside. Still working this keyboard, I apologise. And Doug just holds on to that position. Further back, we've got Palmer now side by side. Sorry, Palmer's still side by side with Doug. Now on the inside, which will become the outside for the next part of the corner. Let's just have a look with Doug. Doug and Palmer still side by side. Doug's now got the inside line for the final corner. I would like to go on board with this, but not too sure what the controls are. Let's just have a quick replay here. Or not. So try and figure out how to. Here we go. Head back on board with the race as it is. So let's just have a run through after lap 1. Jack Meyer is now attacking Jay, coming down into the first corner on the outside. Not going to get the move done there. Is Jack, but the 3 J's out in the top 3 positions at the moment. Jay, Jack, James. We've got Doug in behind. Didn't quite get the move done on James at this stage of the race, but the drivers all on soft tyres, racing soft tyres, so the tyres will start to degrade very shortly with the times too. And in fact, that's a retirement already for Sorry I Got No ID, so perhaps a disconnect there. So we have a look through and see this battle between Durdude and Kyle. Kyle getting his elbows out, as well as Durdude, as the battle for the lead is still raging on now, as the top 3 are all still running together. Doug in 4th, Hairraiser 5th, Palmer 6th, Oscar 7th, Durdude in 8th, Nexus, Mouchalot and Kyle now side by side. Still getting used to this keyboard. Do still hope you guys can hear me. Running through. I still want to watch this battle out in front. If the keyboard is going to let me switch. There we go. Batteries could potentially be running out in this. Down into turn 1 on lap 3. Jay still leads the way. James in 3rd, and Jack still not looking and getting a move done. I am going to have to switch now back to the controller, as I'm very much struggling that. Oh, in fact there's contact there. Contact between Hairraiser and Doug. Hairraiser just looking to get up the inside, as we've got what looks like contact further back. Copmat is now ahead of Mouchalot, and Petrolhead is waiting up for Mouchalot as well, as it appears. Just have a look in behind and see if they are back in order. As I think my, yep, I'm stuck, so I'm just going to come out and back in again. Apologies for this. Let's just have a look now. See, on board with Jack. We'll have a look up front as well and see. In fact, there's a battle raging on behind, as Palmer is now significantly closer to Hairraiser in the slipstream. He's going to get the double toe, and in behind Oscar going to get the triple toe. But no major close battles as of yet. Just Petrolhead has now let Mouchalot back through after, I guess, contact earlier on in the lap. But again, out in front, these guys just not being able to capitalise on each other's race. As we look down the order, everyone's still pretty much in position from where they started, I do believe. Just check on board once more with the comments section. Sorry, I got no ID. PS4 crashed and is not feeling too great. So all the best to him, and hope he gets better soon. And in fact now, Jack under attack from James. James having a look to the inside, not quite going to get the move done on the last corner this time around. It all depends on the exit that James gets out of here, however, because of the all-important toe. Let's just have a look. Is James catching? The gap is 3.1. It's coming down. He's going to have a look into turn 1 to the inside line. Apologies once more for the black box appearing. The gap is now 0.1, sorry, 0.17, and again, James not being able to get the toe to make the move down the inside at turn 1. So he'll have to sit in and just wait for now, although he's on the tail again once more now. Just backs off here, makes sure that he gets a better line in comparison to Jack Mir in second. And in fact, missed something here as Hellraiser's dropped back with significant damage, so unsure if there was more contact there between him and his teammate of Doug, but let's just see in where the nearest battle is. It's probably these three here as we just check the battle for second. Still rages on, in fact. James is still looking to get a better line out of every single corner from Jack. He's going to have to look to the inside. He's not quite going to do it here. I'm just going to ride back on board with this battle at the back. So it is for last place, this battle, but it is still crucial to the race as we have still got 13 drivers running in this race. All drivers more important, or each as important as the other. Let's just double check back here and see. Gap again, not quite close enough is James, but turn 1 really isn't that ideal of an overtaking opportunity. But I don't think that Jack got a great drive out there, and James has. So James now pulls alongside. Battle for second, it rages on. He's got the inside line. Is he through? Let's look for the overlap. He's got the overlap and he's through. So James Head 14 is now released from behind Jack Meyer and is up into second place to go in chase of J Kai 2009, who still leads this race by 2.3 seconds as Jack now sticks on the tail of James. Let's have another quick check and see. Nexus has got through on Copmat. Petrohead just slightly taps the back of Copmat there in trying to get past as well. Let's just run through the rest of the field and see, as we got Kyle and Durdude still scrapping it out for 7th place, and then Palmer, Doug. In fact, Palmer's got in front of Doug. So many battles on track, and Palmer has in fact got in front of Doug, so it's a shame we missed that. Wish I could get the replay feature to work, but I definitely need a second person in this commentary booth to keep an eye on all the battles happening. Let's just double check with the leaders. So Jay is still leads. In fact, in the background, look, Jack coming to attack again on James. James just holds his line and in fact gets a much better drive on exit as well, as he starts now to pull away 6/10 on Jack. Further in behind is now Doug, catching onto the back of Palmer once more, see if he can retake that place. A lot of visible damage on some of these cars, so these guys have been in the wars, but rubbing is racing, and racing is certainly what we want. Just going to check up once more on what's going on YouTube. We've currently got 5 people watching, so thank you very much for tuning in and sticking with us this evening. I'm just going to get some links out as we see Petrolhead there going for a moment, and Copmat, even a bigger moment. Copmat's into the wall. So Copmat, who was just really fighting to keep those guys behind him, has now lost all momentum. Of course, he will be starting at the front of the next race if he does remain in this place. We'll position as in behind. We got a really close battle here for 4th, as Palmer is still having to defend from Doug. Let's just ride on board here and have a look and see, can Palmer get defensive driving to work on his behalf, and in fact he can't. Up alongside comes Doug. The battle for 4th now, so we ride on board, wing mirror to wing mirror, as Palmer's going to try and hold it around the outside. Just gets the door shut on him just in time there for Doug to keep that position. There's still a little bit of rubbing, slight twitching of the internet connection there. I do believe that is from Doug's end. So I'm not sure if he can hang out that router just out his window a little bit wider, a little bit further. Still got 13 runners in this race. What a race it's turning out to be so far. Just having a run through, see where the nearest battles are. We have got a battle, of course, the Doug and Palmer battle still rages on. In fact, Doug's gone wide, Palmer's going to look to get on the inside. They're side by side coming out the final part of the final corner. He's going to have to tuck in as Palmer. Palmer has tucked in. Let's just see what he can do. Is he going to make the move into turn one? As in behind is Oscar on his debut with Straight Line Motorsports, looking back up in front of them. In fact, I hear wheel screeching and Jack's off. Jack Meyer is off in front of the battle for fourth. That now becomes the battle for the final podium position, the battle for third place. So we see Palmer now really piling on the pressure onto Doug, looking to get the move done. Not quite going to get it done on the back straight into turn two, or turn three, sorry, as you got turn two as the slight kick after the first corner. But he's just got to hang on in there, look, pick his lines. Doug has got to defend those lines. Oscar has got to just stick with them and hope that something happens and wait to pick up the pieces. But currently Doug is in the final for podium place position. But we have still got 18 minutes to go. Anything can happen in this race. And in fact, we have lost a driver from this race. Try and pick out who that is. I believe it's Petrolhead. Petrolhead has retired. So, with that being said, it didn't quite make it to 50% of the race, 20 minutes. So he will then, I think, have to start towards the back of the grid and will not be starting in first place, because he didn't finish the race. But side by side now, Palmer and Doug on the run down to turn one. Palmer's got the inside line, can always be defended from the outside. He's up the inside, Doug just turns in, slight contact, but he's through. Palmer once again back through on Doug. Great battle this for the final podium position. As Doug now looks to come back on the outside line, not quite going to happen. Oscar just again sits in, waiting patiently for something to happen. Just have a look, as I do believe we have got a back marker, which we do indeed. It is Copmat. So Copmat is now running around at the front of the field, which is a shame because he is currently in 13th place. But the gap is coming down from Jay to James, so the battle for the lead still does rage on. It may not be as close right now, but it does still rage on. Let's just keep an eye on this battle for third. So they come around the final couple of corners. Doug's got a much better drive out of that corner though. Here he comes onto the start finish straight. Very long straight here at Autopolis. Very long straight. And here he goes. Doug now pulls out to the outside line. He can get the move done round the outside. It is very difficult to do, but it is possible. He is still there. He's still there. He's looking to find the inside line. He is looking to get through past that overlap. And he's going to go for the switchback. He's going to get the switchback. He's gone back to the outside line for turn three. Just see they are door handle to door handle once more. Again, Oscar just sitting in behind. To the outside goes Doug. Slight contact there. Doug's gone wide, and through will go Oscar. Put that down to a racing incident. It did look to me as if Doug did just turn in and not give Palmer the space that was required. As we do see a car going slowly. Not too sure who that was. Pulled off. Oh, it's just the back marker there, moving out of the way for the front runners. So very good to see there from Copmat, running around, not getting in people's ways. Let's just keep like that. But that gap really is coming down between James Head and Jay. As in fact Kyle now leaves the room. So we've dropped now down to 11 drivers. After we lost Sorry I Got No ID, as well as Petrolhead, and now Kyle is out as well, as we see Copmat just going slightly wide to let the front runners back through there as well. So Jay still leads out in front. 1.9 seconds is the gap between James Head 14 and himself in second place. Palmer in third, Oscar in fourth, Doug in fifth after making that mistake out of turn three, Jack in sixth after making the mistake 2 laps before, and he's made another one. Jack's made another mistake there, and he's gone for a half spin, and now a full spin in the other direction. Not too sure if that was the commentator's curse from last week kicking in again there, but Jack makes another mistake, as I mentioned his previous mistakes. So we just get those links out. But Jack's now lost another place to Hair Raiser. He is now on the pause button and I think was typing there momentarily, but no messages have come through. Apologise for any rustling into the microphone. Palmer there just getting a little bit caught on the grass. Just going to try a button here on the keyboard. Does actually get rid of the display. Keep trying with this though. Palmer in third place, still being hunted down by Oscar in fourth. This is currently the closest battle on the circuit right now. So we have got a battle further down. Let's have a look. That's Hair Raiser leading Jack and the back marker of Cup Map. Let's have a look back out in front. 2 seconds is the gap for the lead. 6 seconds between second and third. We've got the half a second gap between third place and fourth place. As in fact Palmer just running slightly deep there. Just right on board here. Let's hop on board with Oscar. And Kyle unfortunately did run out of time. So Kyle ran out of time and was not able to complete the race. So apologies that we did start a little bit later than we expected, but we just wanted to get the drivers in that were very, very interested to race tonight. And what a race it's turned out to be, with all what was 14 drivers, now down to 11 drivers remaining. But of course, reverse grid on the next race. So I now get the friend request through. So we will have now space. For those that are watching, we will now have space in race 2. If you did want to take part in that, you will be starting from the back of the grid, however, to ensure that it is kept fair. So just want to say thank you to Kyle for getting the link for the stream out into our chats. So thank you very much for that. And of course, if you do want to be a part of this and you are watching and thinking racing isn't half bad, please do drop me a message and or have a drop us a message on the stream. I'm sure we can accommodate you in this championship. Of course, this is just a social race for this evening, but we will be running a Gran Turismo Sports GT3 Championship later on, just once we've got enough sign-ups. As Oscar still chasing down Palmer for third place. Look, he's still gaining 4/10 of a second, 3/10 of a second. Still not close enough, as we saw between James and Jack earlier on in this race. Let's just have a look as they run through the exit of turn 1. Still no closer. But it is once again Jay that leads out in front. Followed still at 2.3 seconds. In third we've got Palmer. Fourth we've got Oscar, as we welcome K&K Dot into the second race. He will of course be starting at the very back of the grid, as he did not participate in this race. I can't put him at the front, that would be very unfair. Doug running in race after his off-track excursion at the start. Dirt Dude in 7th. Hair Raiser in 11th. In 8th. Trey, so newcomer. In fact, the battle We got Palmer, one of the other rookies, hold on against the other rookie, in fact, of Oscar. And K&K Dot just drops back out the lobby there temporarily, I'm sure. Further back, if I can pick Trade versus Nexus, coming down the and go tails side now. Have a look if he can get the move done. They're side by side as it leaves the lobby. Jack has now left the lobby. That I can only assume is definitely down to the connection and onto that position actually by sticking to the outside line. So very well driven through turn 1 by Trey. So we just check back on board with that battle for third as Oscar takes a wider line in, tighter line out, but doesn't quite get the drive that he'd hoped for. He'd get a drive just as much as he'd hope. Just apologise for the issues with my microphone. Find a suitable position for the controller so that it doesn't keep cutting out. That has been alluded to me. Tell you what I'll do, I'll scooch that. Okay, not too sure what happened there. Apologise for this. We are hopefully back live now. Yeah, we are. So apologies for that. Not too sure what happened there, but Oscar still leads Palmer for P3. Hopefully now that is positioned better. Not too sure what happened there. Let's just have a look further back. And see, in fact, Oscar and Palmer now side by side, not quite an overlap. Let's ride on board here and see if we could get a pass made on Palmer from Oscar. As in fact, Hair Razor and Durdude are scrapping, but just not quite as close yet. Here we go. This is a good run now. Oscar's got a great run now. Let's just have a look. If the gap is coming down, they'll be at least side by side by the end of the straight. And in fact, it is side by side, as we can see. Who's going to brake late? It is going to be Palmer. Palmer just hangs on to it. Is Oscar going to get the better drive out? And in fact, he doesn't. Did look to get the switch back there, but wasn't quite able to do so. Again, I do apologise if the microphone is still cutting out. This battle still continues to rage on. Let's just try once more switching back to the keyboard. Just have a look. James not quite able to do anything about Jay as we enter the last 5 minutes of this race. Battle between Durdude and Hair Razor. It's not yet got any more exciting. We're down to 10 drivers now, so not too sure Who else has now retired, if anyone? Not too sure. It's right back on board with this battle for third. The gap has now extended out, unfortunately. So what was shaping up to be a good battle is no longer. We currently have no battles going on circuit, so we're just going to have a run through the order. So Jay still leads out in front, followed by James Head 2.3 seconds back, Palmer in third place, being chased down by Oscar. There we go. Doug in fifth. We've got Durdude in sixth, Hairraiser in seventh, Trey. In fact, this is the battle now for 8th place. It's a battle between Trey and Mouchalot, so these two still going at it. Let's just have a look and see whether Mouchalot can get past Trey. Not quite yet. Just stick on board with this, as this is currently the closest battle on track, except for the battle for 3rd place, which is remaining the same actually for now. Let's keep on board with this battle for 8th place. We're on board with Trey currently. Being chased down by Mouchalot. Gap is coming down, however, and if Mouchalot gets a good drive out this final corner, should be able to get the toe down the start-finish straight and get the pass down into turn 1. It's right on board now, and in fact he's got a great run. Absolutely amazing run coming out the final corner. They're side by side now, coming down the start-finish straight. See, is he going to get the move done? Let's have a look. They're side by side. He has got the overlap. Dropped to a 10th now, has Trey. Trey's going to hold it on the inside. He's braking way too late. Way too late. He does keep it on the circuit, but that is that position gone. He's got to be careful here that Copmat doesn't pass. In fact, Copmat is still a lap down, unfortunately. So that could have been quite a good scrap for the last point, essentially. We're on to lap 22 now. 2 laps to go. This one and another, I do believe, and that will be the last lap. Palmer in 3rd place, still being hunted down by Oscar. Oscar is still trying to find his way past. He has dropped to 0.6 of a second, however, so won't be doing it any time soon unless there is a slight mistake from Oscar. Doug also looking to regain those positions as well. So we take a look. Now Hairraiser and Durdude. I do believe those two have now switched positions. It's a shame we missed that. I'll definitely have to look into this replay feature that is accessible and available to myself. So I'm just not sure how to use it. In fact, coming now into the final corner is Jay for the penultimate time. Let's have a look. Yes, it will be, because he crosses the line now, and the lap times that they're doing are 1 minute 18, so he crosses the line now with 1 minute 11 seconds remaining. Just see Copmat and the back runners still running ahead of him. So we look in behind, we can still see James Head 14 still sitting in 2nd place. The battle for 3rd is now, in fact the gap's gone up by 2/10, now coming down by another 1/10. 0.6 of a second separate 3rd and 4th. Unfortunately, you're not going to quite see a last lap battle there, unless, as mentioned, Palmer gets a poor exit out of the corner or makes a mistake. Doug not able to capitalise either and get onto the back of these guys in 5th. Hairraiser in 6th. Durdude in 7th. Mouchalot in 8th. Trey now drops quite a way back from Mouchalot after Mouchalot got that pass done, which we may have missed, unfortunately. Again, my apologies for this. But as we now around the final corner, it is definitely the final corner as the counter now ticks down to 0. It is going to be Jay that takes the first win this evening here at Autopolis, with James coming in second place, taking the checkered flag now. Palmer, is he going to be able to hold on to that third place? The gap is 0.4 of a second. I think he will do. Palmer takes third place, and Oscar will take fourth, with Doug, coming in across the line in fifth. Hair Raiser, 16 seconds back from Doug, will be coming across the line in sixth place. Here he comes, run to the line. Across the line comes Hair Raiser, Durdude in behind in 7th. Now we've got a 25-second wait whilst we wait for these two to come through. That is Mouchalot and Trey. But once again, congratulations to Jay, James and Palmer. Palmer not raced before, I've not seen race before. To pick up a third place podium is a very, very good result, as now we have 10 viewers that have tuned in, as finally Mouchalot and Trey now come across the line, and Copmat, 1 lap down, finishes in the final place of 10th position. But there is the finishing order. I don't have enough time to run through, unfortunately, but once again, as we see here, victory and the win for Jay. Congratulations to him. Got the pole position and the clean race bonus, so no contact for him during the race. But once again, congratulations to all our drivers for finishing. Let's just ignore what's going on the map, because it does like to glitch out. But now we'll take a very short break, and during this break we'll go ahead and get the order sorted as well. So stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly. you for sticking with us during this break. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to ride on board with one of our drivers. In fact, we'll stick on board with Jay, as he was our race winner, and he could take you for a couple of laps around the Autopolis circuit whilst I go and take a quick rest break. But stay tuned for race number 2 this evening. Okay, so we are back from our rest break. Let's go ahead now and get the grid set. All cars are on circuit. Was one more driver we were hoping to receive into this next this race, but unfortunately has not joined. So we'll go ahead now and get the grid set up. It's a reverse grid based on the result of that last race. I did take a screenshot of this, so Jay, winner of that last race, will be starting from the back, followed by James, will be one place ahead. And then we've got Oscar, Doug, Razor, Dude, Mushalot, that is the rundown of how the order will be starting the second race of the evening. Just keep on board with that for a moment whilst I read through the comment section that are coming through, so thank you to you guys that are still commenting and sticking with us. It's just James and Jay having friendly conversations in the background. So we have got all drivers now on circuit. I think we are ready to get underway. We don't want to go to circuit. In fact, this is just some information for you regarding what the power outage and weight of these cars are. So they're running 1,001 kilograms at 171 brake horsepower. So not the quickest cars, but certainly the most fun to drive. I can reassure you of that. But here we go then. We're going to get this race underway. Let's head into spectator cam first. Or not. Let's head into race settings, race start. Yes, now all the way down to the bottom of the screen into a spectator cam. But here we go for the final or second and final race of the evening. We've got Copmat on pole, Trey, Mushalot, Durdude, Hair Razor, Doug, Oscar, Palmer, James Head, Jay, Petrolhead, and K&K Dot. But here we go. Again, waiting for the lights to go out. And we are underway here at Autopolis once again this evening for race 2, reverse grid, for the Mazda MX5 Cup social race tonight. Let's just have a run through and see who's got the best start. It is in fact Mushalot with the best start. In fact no, Copmat goes way wide into turn 1 and slight contact there. Not too sure what the penalty was picked up for there. Let's just have a look further down the field. So we see Doug now into 5th, 4th place, 5th once more as Hair Razor's on the inside. Durdude runs slightly wide in 2nd place. Copmat just dropping further and further down the field, bunching all these guys up as we see somebody having a slight moment there. Did they hang on to it? I do believe so. And in fact, Palmer's up into 3rd. Palmer has got himself up into 3rd place at the start of this race. Got himself back in front of Doug once again. So, Nexus, Mushalot leads the way. Durdude, 14 in 3rd place. Palmer in 3rd. Doug in 4th. Hair Razor 5th. 6th is James Head, looking to go around the outside of Hair Razor. Won't be able to do it there, but it becomes the inside line as long as he can get into the toe, which he does. We've got battle for 2nd on as well, sorry, 3rd place on. And in fact the battle for the lead, Mushalot versus Durdude down at the straight. Let's have a look at what the gap is. It's 0.02, 0.01. Side by side, just holds the inside. Palmer looking to get down the inside of Durdu, doesn't quite work, but he's gone to the outside now, and I think he has got a better run out of the corner. He has, look at the gap, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down. He's got up into second place now, but he is on the wrong line for turn 3. Is he going to get around the outside? He has, and Doug's following him through. And he's got to the outside now of Nexus, Mouchalot, and he's going around the outside once more. Great driving there from Palmer, who holds it on the outside. Gets 2 places in the space of 2 corners. Mouchalot sideways. Doug up the inside. Doug now into second place. Mouchalot washes wide. Durdude on the inside gets 3rd place. Mouchalot got to hang on in there. He's got Hair Razor on his tail. In behind we've got Jay and James making their way up through the pack. Already past Oscar. K&K Dot struggling. Petrolhead. Trey. And Cotmat, but we'll jump right back up because look at them, still side by side. Jay now at the inside of Durdude. Hair Razor looking to follow him through, and they're side by side. He's going to have the tow though, is Hair Razor. As we see here, he is tucked in the slipstream. We've also got the battle out in front. Doug looking to get past. Doug looking to get past Palmer. And unfortunately, as I've just noticed, we are going to need to call a restart. We have only got 3 laps in this second race. Unfortunately, this race is now completely invalid and we will have to restart this race as it has been set to a 3-lap race. So I do apologise to all drivers for this, but we will be calling a restart after this race. That is a huge shame there that I didn't spot that sooner. But I guess that's probably why Durdude has backed off, along with some of the other guys actually. So once more, apologies to these guys, as Jay in fact did get himself up into 3rd place. Such a shame that I missed out on that. So yep, they all do now come across to finish the race. But yes, I do apologise, I didn't check the settings. It was set for a 3-lap race, but I will go ahead and redo the settings and get the second race underway with the same grid layout. And in fact we've lost a driver now as Copmat decides to leave, which is a shame. But grid order should still be set as the same. Yeah, that is why. 30 minutes set by host. As here come the messages now in the stream. Here we go, once all drivers are on circuit, I'll double check the grid once more and hopefully we can get straight underway. Just waiting on Mouchalot and we should be good to go. And in fact Mouchalot won't be racing, so let's once again double check the grid. Yep, gonna need to reset that. Once again, apologies for the delay. In fact, that looks right to me. Trader Dude, Hair Razor, Doug, Oscar, Palmer, James Head, Jay. In fact, that is the that's correct. So, once again, get the race started. Now down to 10 drivers, unfortunately, but accidents happen, mistakes are made, but we will now get underway for race 2 of the evening. Here we are on the grid. Trey, Durdude, Hair Razor, Doug, Oscar, Palmer, James Head, Jay, Petrolhead and K&K Dot once more starting in last place. It's a shame that I cannot ride, in fact I can ride on board. I'll go take this from the perspective of Palmer, I think. So we wait for the lights to go out, they go out now. So we have a look who's got the best jump. Hair Razor looks to have on, let's just double check on this as they run down into turn 1. Doug pulling to the middle of the circuit. In fact, there's contact there as he tries to go down and sandwich between the two cars, and that unfortunately is not what we wanted to see, and a horrible situation there for Trey, who's now dropped back. So huge condolences as, there we go. Just have a look. Is he still running, however? He is. Very, very poor driving into turn 1 there by some of the guys, including the guy that now currently leads, Doug, Hair Razor, Jay, James, Oscar, Durdude, K&K Dot, Petrolhead, Palmer and Trey, unfortunately at the back now. But here we go, coming onto the final corner of lap 1. Hair Razor piling all the pressure on Doug, with Jay in behind, James Head in 4th, Oscar 5th. But the battle for the lead is really on now, as both Jay and Hair Razor may get the move done. Let's have a look, wait for the pull out. There goes Hair Razor pulls out. Is Jay going to do the same? No, James looks to, however. Hair Razor down the inside, is he going to get the move done? He doesn't, but he does get a tap there from Jay, which may help and give him a better line on the exit of the corner. And there is an overlap, they are side by side. Running down into turn 3. Is Hair Razor going to get the move done on the inside? Not quite, Doug holds it around the outside, he's going to keep it on the circuit, he does. James, in fact, in behind though, has got into 3rd place, managed to get past Jay there. So, it's a shame we did miss that. Watching the battle out in the lead. James tucking right up underneath Hair Razor's rear wing there on the inside line. As I've lost all control over the keyboard. There we go. Very delayed. Let's pop that up there. Doug still leads. In fact, Hair Razor coming to make a move on the outside. He's not quite going to get the move done there. In fact, he's got all crossed up, and James is through. James is through, Jay's through. Is Oscar going to capitalise as well? Oscar's through as well. Jay sitting on the tail of James at this point, nudging him down the straight. Bumper drafting. This is what that's called. Bumper drafting. As they both fight. Jay, much later on the brakes, down the inside. Goes Jay on James. Good move. He's got the move done. Is James looking to fight back on exit? And in fact, Doug's got a really poor run out of that corner as well. So let's just see. 3 wide, 3 into 1 doesn't go, 3 into 3 doesn't go. And someone's got to give it, is Doug. James now on the outside as well. Slight either lag or contact there between Doug and Jay. In fact, it is Jay lagging because there was another spike there. Got a car in behind with a penalty. I do believe that's Durdude. No, in fact, Hair Razor. It is Hair Razor with the penalty. Side by side. James Head's through. James Head is through into the lead of the race. You can hear the crowds at the side of the circuit clapping. Round of applause for James. And Doug is looking to capitalise as well, slots in behind Jay very aggressively there. But the leader is currently James Head 14, followed by Jay. Jay 1/10 of a second behind. Now pulls to the inside. He's going to go for a move down the inside. He's not. He is, and he's through. James Head washes out wide. Jay is through, and contact between Doug and James, and further contact between them. So again, contact there with Doug. Doug looking very, very reckless in this second race this evening. James having to weave a bit there to get the dirt off his tyres, but that leaves Jay into the lead of the race once more this evening, followed by Oscar. Durdude now up into third, under pressure from Hair Raiser. Hair Raiser's got what looks like it would have been a 3-second time penalty, perhaps 2.5. Now down to 1.7, so he served some of that. KK Dot's off. Palmer's off as well, a little bit wider in fact for Palmer, who has just been able to regain onto the circuit. Let's just have a look. James Head's back through on Doug, who did pick up a penalty for that collision. Doug now dropped to 8th place, so very unfortunate there for James to get caught up in that, but it does look very, very scrappy from Doug in this second race, unfortunately. I'm just going to try this replay feature again, see what sort of replay we can get. Let's have a look. Turns out that the feature does not work, unfortunately. Yeah, no, it doesn't seem to work at all, which is a shame, but we can actually get a look back at the start, which is pretty good. So we'll just have a look here and see what happens with Doug. Okay, this feature is not the greatest at the moment, as it is now waiting for the lights to count down. Let's have a look and see if we can catch what happened on board here with Doug on the run down to turn 1. The lights go out. They all make a pretty even start except for Trey. Trey bogs down a lot at the start. Hair Raiser capitalises as well as Durdude. Durdude will be on the outside here. There is a gap there for Doug. There is a gap. The gap is always going to close. Let's just have a look. In fact, just misjudged his braking point completely and caused a bit of a chain reaction there, so it is a bit of a shame there for those guys. As we cut now back live and see Doug has still got some of that penalty to serve, about 8/10. So the keyboard is less than ideal actually for me, and as we look in behind, Hair Raiser's now got past Durdude. Let's have a look and see if we've got a replay of that. And in fact we do, he just went round the outside and held his ground round the outside, so we picked up on that very late on, but we can see what happened. So very great pass there, very good pass. We run down into turn 1, in fact the battle for the lead is closing up with, I don't know if Jay's made a mistake there, but Oscar seems very, very close in behind. But not as close as this battle between 3rd and 4th, that's Hair Raiser and Durdude. With the rest of the cars pretty much a bit more spread out now, as Palmer under threat from James, so we'll keep an eye on that in the background. But for now it is the battle between 3rd and 4th, Hair Raiser and Durdude. In fact now just starting to open up a bit. But that battle for the lead, in fact, Oscar's doing a really good job here to stick with Jay. Jay started pretty much to the back of the field, has worked his way up, keeping himself out of the trouble, and is running in 1st place. Still not quite close enough for any of these guys. Hair Raiser just serves up the last bit of his penalty. Just keep an eye here, switch between these guys, so that'll be P3 and P7. Sorry, P4 and P7. Let's just have a look. No one quite close enough yet to make a move. So we see the guys at the back looking to gain on each other. Let's have a look here. James still not quite close. In fact, did hear some engine revving there, and in fact I think that is because KK Dot made a slight mistake there, and these guys in behind are catching, not quite close enough, but I do feel that James perhaps did change down into 2nd gear a bit early there. has just lost that bit of time to Palmer. But I do want to keep an eye on, in fact the battle for the lead has now increased, the gap has increased. So the closest battle now is James Head on Palmer. Very equally matched, despite James putting the fastest lap of the race of a 1:18.1 in during this race. He's taken a much deeper line through there, has James. Let's see if it does pay off for him. It's 7 tenths, now 6 tenths. Half a second. So it does work, that line. The question is, what's the gap between Palmer and K&K Dot? In fact, it's a very good gap because it is coming down. Let's have a look. He pulls to the outside. Does Palmer? K&K Dot's going to have to look and defend this, but he does not and hangs on to the position. Does K&K Dot, but in fact Palmer's now coming back at him. Is there an overlap? Let's have a look. There is indeed. He's going to look to the inside. Is he going to go through? Palmer's on the inside. He's on the inside, up on the curb. He's up on the curb. Now becomes the outside. Didn't quite get the move done there. Contacts there. A little bit of bumper rubbing there as Palmer's still looking for a way past K&K Dot, and it's bringing James right into the mix of things. And he's gone. He's gone for the switchback. Palmer's gone for the switchback. He's down up the inside. Now, unfortunately, does become the outside again. Not quite going to get the move done here. Is James going to follow K&K Dot through? He is hanging on in the inside, and he is side by side. Is he going to get the move done? Is James? James just tries to cut in behind Palmer there a bit too early. Palmer looks, moves to the outside, covers off James. K&K Dot holds the inside. K&K Dot's gone wide, however. Palmer's through. Is James going to come on through as well? Let's have a look. He's got the run. Look at the gap on the left-hand side. 0.1, 0.09. 0.075, 68, 62, 51. Let's just have a look and see who's in the slipstream here. It is James Head, so James Head has now in fact got past K&K Dot, who launches it back up the inside. Is James going to get a better run out on the exit? K&K Dot just catches the gravel there, but pretty equal between them on the exit of the corner. As the battle for fourth and the battle for third rages on. Battle for second does not. Let's just keep an eye. Dude still on the back of Hair Razor, not quite able to get the switch back. Let's look in further behind and see. James Head still not able to get past K&K Dot at this point, unfortunately. James Head looking to get the switch back, and he's got a very good run here, but he's going to wash out wide, which is going to just ruin his momentum ever so slightly. Let's have a look. That battle for third has come down. The battle for the lead, I don't know if they've squabbled, because Hair Razor just looks slightly closer, but it's now half a second. Oscar really late on the brakes there, really sending it into turn one. Does lose out, however, because he was on the wrong line. But who was that? In fact, Hair Razor just washing slightly wide. Let's have a look in behind and see how this is getting on. James has got a very good run coming out of here. A very good run. Let's have a look on board with this. He's on the outside, however. He's not quite going to get the move done here, I don't think, because K&K Dot will defend that with all of his might. James goes round the outside. James has gone round the outside of K&K Dot, and he's got the position from K&K Dot. Very good move there. Very good move. K&K Dot now down into 7th place. James up into 6th. K&K Dot slight twitch on the exit. Let's just have a look and see who we've still got in this race. In fact, we've still got all 10 runners. And in fact, the battle for the last, or battle for 10th or 9th, sorry, has been jinxed. As Trey runs slightly wide there and is unable to attack Petrol Head. Let's just keep on board with the battles and see. The battle for the lead, I can see on the map, has increased. Let's have a look. It's probably about a second now, 8 tenths of a second. So that's not quite happening. The battle for third, sorry, again not quite happening. Palmer's pulled away. James Head's got a bit of a gap now onto K&K Dot. currently don't really have a battle on circuit. However, this battle looked pretty close on the map, and it's 4/10, now 6/10. Hellraiser just made a slight mistake there as we cut on board. So Doug really not having a good race on this one, down in 8th place. KK Dot really driving his heart out to get back in front of James. Race has now settled down. "15 minutes to go, anything can happen." Perhaps pit stops should have been thrown in there. Mandatory pit stops. But of course, this is just a sprint race, half an hour sprint race. Shouldn't need to pit in that 30 minutes. Let's just give you another rundown of the order whilst things are quiet on circuit. Jay leads the way once more, out in front. Oscar in at 3rd. Some slight twitching of a lag there once more from Jay. He's got some major lag coming through on the keyboard. Unfortunately, the connection is not as strong. As Palmer very sideways through that, and in fact didn't really clock onto this, but 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and almost 7th are pretty much together now. So whilst I said the race is settling down, back for 3rd, it's pretty much only just starting, and in fact James has gone slightly wide there in his bid to catch Palmer, and K&K Dot not quite close enough to capitalise on that small mistake from James. But these guys are right together now, with Doug playing catch up still in 8th. Through the final corner, Dude had a not such a good run in comparison to Palmer. Palmer now looking to get past. So right on board here and see if he can get the move done. And again, it's glitching out, as you can see, as I tried to change the camera view, which is a shame. So I'm going to have to just use this. Look, window wipers there for Durden. In fact, who's that in behind? Palmer's got a great run here. Let's head back on to the external camera, and he's through on the inside goes Palmer. Another great move from Palmer, working his way up the field, looking for that final podium position once more. Very clean, very quick, very strong driver that we've got with us this evening. James also looking now to get onto the back of Durdude, capitalise and get past. So they run through fast left-hander, flat out once again through here. The battle for the lead increases as well, unfortunately, but Oscar doing a great job in 2nd place. Hellraiser just hanging on in there for the time being in the final podium position, but I don't think it will last, because here comes Palmer. Palmer closing right in on him. Let's have a look. Oh, Palmer's definitely got him coming down the straight now. The gap is 0.2 of a second. Decreasing, and in the back, oh sorry, in the background as well, you can see James Head gaining on Durdude. And in fact, Palmer not quite able to get past Hellraiser at this point. He has looking to the inside as well as James. Both cars pulled to the inside. Neither car is able to get through at the first part of the corner. KK Dot watches wide in the background, and he's off hard into the barrier. Off very hard into the barrier. So now it is just 4 cars. Yes, 2 batches of 2. They come in 2s. Let's have a look again and see if we can get on board. This bloody keyboard. As Durdude holds onto the place, and Hellraiser holds onto the place as well. So really good scrap here for 3rd place. 4 cars for 3rd. That's 4 for 3. Position 3. Got a good livery there from Durdude, just advertising that we are streaming and live, and in fact that is Palmer. So if I can see the keyboard, up into 3rd place. He's got the outside. Is Hellraiser going to hold the inside? He does. There's going to be minor contact there. Hellraiser retakes 3rd place for now, but Palmer and Hellraiser are still rubbing as he looks constantly to try and find a way past. But I think Durdude here might actually have a better run on Palmer than Palmer does on Hellraiser. And in fact, in all of that, I think it's James Head that's going to get the pass on Durdude. You just don't know where to look. You don't know where to look because these guys are just having such a good, strong race. Let's just have a look. See if we can ride on board here. See who's got the better run. We'll ride on board here with James. In fact, we won't. We'll stick on board with Durdude because Durdude has now been passed by James. We want to get the full perspective of this. Let's have a look. Hair Razor's still hanging on in there against Palmer. Durdude now down into 6th place. James looking down the inside, not quite going to get the move done. Some brilliant racing from these guys this evening. But Palmer now to the outside, not quite going to get the pass done there, I don't think. Let's have a look if he'll get the run on the exit. He's going to look. He's looking for the gap on the inside. It was there. It disappeared slowly. Very slowly did that gap disappear. He's going to the outside. He's gone for an outside move and running on board with James. We can see that Palmer has now got in front. Hair Razor, all sorts of sideways and slidey, tail happy coming out of the last corner. But Palmer, once again, up into 3rd place. Amazing racing from these guys. Absolutely amazing racing this evening. And just checking up on the comment section, I didn't know that we could use wipers. Neither did we. We're still trying to figure out how he's managed to get the wipers to work. James, oh, James got wide. James has gone wide, and there's contact with Durdude. James went wide, spun, and collected Durdude. That's very unfortunate. And in fact, Doug, so we just catch on board with that. Doug was very, very lucky, and James actually retires from the race. James has now retired from the race, but Doug was very lucky to get past Durdude there as we caught on board with that. Very lucky. Let's just see if we can get a replay of this once again. Try out this crucial or this controversial and see. No, I think we're a little bit too far behind, so we'll try slightly further back. And unfortunately not able to catch that on the replay, I'm afraid. Huge amount of lag there from Jay. Just going to ride on board with everyone else, make sure everyone else is okay, make sure it's not my end. Slight twitch from Hair Razor. Let's head back. See what's going on. There we go. Got the camera views and all the information back up on the screen. Oscar still chasing down, but Palmer, as I was saying before, Palmer, exceptional drive from Palmer to get himself up into the podium place once again. Doug now under threat from K&K Dot. K&K Dot is absolutely flying now, and in fact Doug's gone wide. K&K Dot's going to capitalise. He's got to go to the outside, which comes the inside. He does. He just makes the call to the inside line. Is there an overlap? Is there an overlap? There's not quite the overlap, but he's got a great run out of there. He's got the toe as well. With the toe, the draft, the slipstream, he should blast past. He's going to go to the outside. He does go to the outside. And both cars are way too quick through there, but in fact they do manage to get it stopped. But now K&K Dot's got the run, he's got the slipstream on the exit, he's going to pull to the right hand side. No, in fact there's a battle there for 3rd. Palmer made a slight mistake somewhere because Hair Razor's looking to come through. Not quite. Hair Razor can't quite do it, very sideways through at turn 1. So we're checking behind. K&K Dot to the inside of Doug again, just turning into the side of people coming down the inside. So there'll definitely be discussions after this race regarding that sort of driving standards. Otherwise it's been pretty good throughout the race. Just a couple of incidents here and there. But we'll definitely be looking into the driving standards after this race for Doug, who does just seem to not like people coming down the inside. But as I said, have to catch up with Doug after the race in regards to that. Not live on the stream. But once again, Palmer under threat from Hair Razor. Hair Razor's just really come alive in this second part now. So the slipstream is potentially just keeping him in contact with Palmer, as we do have 6 minutes left of this race. 6 minutes left. fact, is that Doug getting back onto the tail of K&K Dot? It is. Some great liveries out here as well. Voice correct. That I've picked up on, as we'll come to that in just a moment, because Palmer now under threat from Hair Raiser. Hair Raiser sticking into the slipstream until the very last second. So he's going to get the switch back. He's going to get a good run. Palmer goes straight to the inside to cover it. Hair Raiser slotting in just behind. As in fact, Doug's now got back in front of Hair Raiser, but in the meantime, Hair Raiser is not quite able to get through. But yes, Doug has got the place back on K&K Dot. So I guess K&K Dot may have gone wide unless there was further contact there. But just checking on the battle for third, Palmer still holds it. Hair Raiser goes slightly wide. Very lucky to get away with that, as I could see the tail got very, very loose there. K&K Dot once again running very wide there. So I guess the tyres are now starting to go off for these guys. Just keep an eye on this battle for third. Hair Raiser still looking to gain. Let's have a look. Palmer goes tight in, slightly wider out, but got a better run than. Did have a better run than Hair Raiser. I think he might have missed a gear or shifted up too early, because he's got the gap has come back down again. Doug on Hair Raiser, definitely not close enough to make a move into turn one. Here's K&K Dot, but we'll just keep on board with this. No, we won't, because up in front, Palmer's still being hounded by Hair Raiser. In fact, they've gone wide. They've gone wide. Palmer, exceptional driving there to hold that and prevent him from going into Hair Raiser. Absolutely well held. But Hair Raiser now back up into third place. Palmer will now start to struggle. He's got dirt on his tyres until it's gone. Does normally take a couple of corners to remove the dirt from the tyres. But we can see he is now starting to struggle. Let's just have a look. Gets through there nice and cleanly. In behind, Doug's still ahead of K&K Dot. Let's just check on the guys running around at the back. We've got Durdude in 7th after the contact early on. Petrolhead has gained substantially on Trey, who's down in 9th. So, yeah, expect to see these guys in the future, because a lot of these guys are mainly here because they're looking to continue racing with Straight Line Motorsports going into the future. Once again, if you're not currently with us and would like to be, you can of course sign up. If you weren't able to catch my name, you'll see it after the session, but most of you please know me already. Just catching up on the messages there, see if there's anything crucial that I need to point out. Let's just have a look through Hair Raiser, Palmer. No change there. And in fact, the change that I have missed is K&K Dot getting back in front of Doug. Let's see if we can get a replay or not yet, because they're still side by side. No, we do get a replay. Do indeed get a replay. As I think we've gone a bit too far back actually. Let's just have a look and see if we can see it. No, we can't, because it takes us back to lap 5, but we're on lap 21. K&K Dot goes back down the inside, as Doug did get alongside. They're still side by side coming through the final corner. Is there going to be further contact for Doug? Let's ride on board, see what we can find as I find the camera view. That's not the camera view that I wanted. There it is. It's Doug still coming. It's Doug moving across on K&K Dot there. K&K Dot on the very edge of the circuit, so not really liking this from Doug actually. He then gets the cut back on K&K Dot. Not overly friendly driving, I've got to say, from Doug. Very close to forcing him off onto the grass. But Hair Raiser has made a slight mistake somewhere, or Palmer is absolutely flying, because Palmer is now within 3/10, or within 4/10, sorry, of Hair Raiser. He's got a very good run out of there as Palmer. Now down to 2/10. He's halving that gap straight away, just in one corner. Well, keep an eye on this battle for third. Final podium position. 1 minute 16 remains, with Jay still leading. Oscar in behind, not quite able to do anything about the lead. But here comes Palmer. He looks to the inside. This is the penultimate lap. You don't want to be making any mistakes yet. You don't want to be making any mistakes at all. But you don't want to be making it now. Onto the final lap they come. Palmer down the inside, got the move done. They're side by side coming across the line. Apologies. Let's just have a look. They're side by side coming down the straight. It is very, very close between the two. Palmer has the inside line. Will Hairazor make the move around the outside, or will Palmer be able to hold it? Let's have a look. They've both gone slightly deep. Palmer holds it for now. Palmer holds it. He went straight to the inside to defend the position. But here comes Hairazor. Hairazor's not going to be able to get the move down the inside. He's gone to the outside. He's just going to stick with him and hope that Palmer makes a slight mistake. They are sticking together. Let's just check the battle in behind. Not quite as close as this battle. Or is it? It is. It's very difficult. Don't know which race to watch. K&K Dart is not quite able to get back past, but Hairazor is much closer to Palmer than K&K Dart is to Doug. As we quickly jump to the leaders. I don't want to, but we have to. Hairazor was on the outside. Here comes Jay to cross the line to take 2 wins here this evening. Well done to him. Back on board. Hairazor to the outside. He's going to get the switch back. Is he? So it's going to be a dead heat. It's going to be a run to the line. Drag race. Drag race to the line. Here they come. Palmer just pips him. Palmer just pips him in behind. We have got Doug and K&K Dart. Doug just fends him off, but not overly happy with the driving. Doug just makes a final little error coming out the last corner. Trey was lapped in the end, so doesn't get to finish the current lap. But across the line comes Durdude, and we'll just ride on board now with Petrolhead to see him to the end of this race. As I said, there will be discussions in the background regarding the driving of some of our guys this evening. It's not been great in this second race, but I guess it's just like a touring car race. Race 3 in the British touring cars. All in, or you're out. Put everything into it to get the result that you want. The 22 comments, just cut back on board. They're still going at it, the AI, between these guys. But the race is now finished, all cars across the line. Jay wins from Oscar, and Palmer picking up 2 podium places at the end of the event this evening. Once again, victory to Jay. Didn't quite get the clean race bonus on this one, but I'll be surprised if anyone did. But a very good result indeed for Jay, and of course for Palmer as well, picking up 2 places, and Oscar doing very well as well. But that is it for this evening. We hope you've enjoyed the action here, and we look forward to seeing you very soon here at Straight Line Motorsports for some GT3 racing, truck racing, anything that we've got coming up. We'll keep you posted, and we'll see you very soon. Thank you for watching.